everyone, and welcome to Stamp a Chat Live. I'm Gina from Gina K Designs, and it's great to see all of you coming in from all around the world. Tonight we're going to have some fun because I am going to be doing another Inspired By video. And what an Inspired By video is what I do is I'm constantly looking at all of the beautiful card inspiration that people share in our Facebook group, on Instagram, and all over YouTube and everywhere. And every once in a while, I find a card that I see that I think, boy, I'm inspired to make that card, but change it up just a little bit, maybe add a different technique to it, and then share that with my audience here on YouTube and on Facebook, and see where it goes. And I also like to do this because I like to show you guys how you can be inspired by all of the beautiful projects that are shared on our social media platforms, but not steal them, if you know what I mean. So there's a term out there called case, C-A-S-E. So you might hear somebody say, I cased this design. Well, what case means, it can mean one of two things. It could mean copy and share everything. That's what I like to do, copy and share everything. And then some people say it means copy and steal everything. So in order for us not to steal somebody's original work, it's always a good idea to change it up a little bit and add your own touch. Whether you change up the color scheme, maybe you add a different greeting, and maybe you do it in a different layout, but you case the technique. So tonight we're going to case a card by one of our Facebook members. I'm going to show you her card, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to change it up. But before we get started, let's say hello to Tom. Hey, Tom.
Hello, crafters.
Hey, how are you tonight?
I'm doing much better than horrible. What a day, huh?
It's been a long day today. I think you were up at the crack of dawn.
It's been a long week today.
It really has. And I should tell everybody that we are not going to be going live this Thursday. And I'll mention it again at the end of the live because I know we get a lot more people as the live goes on. But we're not going to be able to go live this Thursday because we are actually going to be on doggy watching duty. Our daughter has a concert to go to, and we agreed to watch the doggy. And it's the big doggy, not the little doggy. So it kind of takes both of us because we've never had big dogs before. So it's very interesting how we do that. So we're going to be, kind of tied up throughout the day, taking care of him, but it's okay. He's our grand puppy and we don't mind doing that. And since we've done 2 videos already this week, if you include yesterday and tonight, we think we're going to take Thursday off. But what I'll be doing on Thursday is I'll be working behind the scenes because our new release is coming up next Tuesday night. So I'm going to be making all the graphics, all the sneak peek graphics, and I'll be doing stuff like that. So it's going to be very exciting. So forgive us for not going live on Thursday, but we'll be back next Tuesday with another Stamp and Chat Live release party. So Tom, you ready for the dog?
Yes, of course.
He's the sweetest thing.
They do have a way of changing the schedule, don't they?
They do.
Working their way into the schedule.
They do. They absolutely do. But you know what? It's okay because he's the sweetest dog, and we don't mind helping our daughter. And family first, right?
Yeah, we'll have fun.
Yes. Okay. Well, do you happen to have a word of the day for later?
I have a phrase of the day.
Ooh, a phrase of the day. All right. Well, we will look forward to that. Okay, so what I'd like to do, Tom, is I want to show the card that I was inspired by. So this is a beautiful card from Facebook member Georgina Peraza Brown. And she made this gorgeous card using our Autumn Delight stencil and die bundle. And she also used the Harvest of Love incentive stamp set to create her greeting. Now, if you look at her card, you can see that she's done the stenciling and she die cut the stencil out using the coordinating die that comes with that stencil bundle. And then she did her flowers in shades of red. She used a little bit of red ink blending in the background, which I just love. And I love how she went real light on the flowers on the one layer and a lot deeper on the other layer. And then she added that greeting just down there on the bottom right-hand corner. Now, I love this card. I think it's really beautiful. One of the things that I'm going to change about this card for my own project is I am actually not going to die cut the flowers out. However, I really love the white border around those flowers. It's one of the things I love so much about die cutting is that the white border gives you separation from the background. So I'm going to show you a fun technique where you can create this look without actually die cutting the flowers themselves. So that's one thing that I'm going to change. The next thing that I'm going to change is the color scheme. So Georgina used these beautiful reds and that pinkish, I'm not sure exactly what color she used here because it's always deceptive when you look at pictures like this to know exactly, did she use red hot or an innocent pink, or did she use the carnations? She may have used those carnations, and that's what I'm thinking she used. So I'm thinking that I could switch it up a little bit by either using some purples, or maybe I can use some turquoise colors. So we'll see about that. And then she used the bright greens, the jelly bean, maybe the fresh asparagus, or maybe the grass green. I'll go with the more subdued greens, so I'll use the spruces to change up my card. And she made her card a Thankful for You card. I love the greeting that she used, but I think what I will do is I will use a different greeting from that same set to make my card stand out a little bit differently than hers. So this way, my card will be very much based on her card. I am going to case this card, but I'm going to make it my own. So what I'm going to do is I've got a piece of white cardstock here, and I'm going to trim this down to, let's see, I'm going to trim it down to, I've got it at 5.5. Tom, can you flip the camera? 5.5 to 6 1/4. All right. So that's what I'm going to do. Now, I had posted in our Facebook group some information about our sticky mat versus our grit mat. And because what was happening is somebody would ask a question like, how do I clean the mat? They would say the mat. And we have this sticky mat that I use a lot for stenciling. And then we also have the grip mat, which is this mat right here, which I use a lot for stamping. So I talked a little bit in the Facebook group. I made a little graphic and stuff, and I explained how to clean the two different mats. So if you're in our Facebook group, head over there and check out how to clean the different mats, because that's really helpful information, and you don't want to clean your mat the wrong way. All right, now to start, what I'm going to do here is I said that I really like the white outline. So what I'm going to do to change up my card a little bit here is I am going to cut out some masking magic with the coordinating die. So I have masking magic sheets here. And let's get those out. Now these are different than the masking magic strips that I usually use. And by the way, I just went into the back warehouse and I saw a huge pallet from ThermoWeb, which means that all of our adhesives and masking papers and all the other good things are going to be back in stock probably in the next day or two. So if you've been waiting for any of that stuff to come back in stock, it'll be back in stock very soon. Okay, so I am going to go ahead and cut this out using the die and the masking magic. Okay, I really don't need this to be quite that tight. All right, so here's my masking magic. I've got that one cut out. I'm going to cut out one more. Alrighty. So I can save this and use this for masking other projects. I can cut it into strips. I can use it for masking off greetings or whatever kinds of things I want to do. I'm not going to throw that away. But I am going to make another one. And let me just pop out the little masking magic that's stuck in these holes. There we go. Okay, so we're going to cut a second one. Now, I don't know if I'm going to use both of these, but I want to have both of them available to use if I want them. Now, I'm not sure what size Georgina made her card. It looks like it could be an A6 card, or it looks like it could be a custom card, custom size. Do you want to pull Georgina's card back up there again, Tom? If you look at that, she's got a lot of the card design. Let me grab a card real fast here off to the side. All right, so it looks like, well, you know, now that I look at it, I think it's an A2 card, and here's why. Go back to my overhead. I'm just holding the masking magic here, and that looks just like it. So her card is definitely an A2 card. So to change this design up a little bit, I think I might make mine a 5x7 card, just to have it a little bit bigger. The thing that attracted me the most to Georgina's card was that she did that ink blending in the background, and then she die cut everything, and it had those nice white edges, and I really love that. So maybe I should start with a 5x7 panel here, just to be on the safe side. Let me cut this down to 5, and I'll cut it just a little bit bigger. This is obviously not going to be the finished side of the finished size of the card, because I would most likely cut this out with Master Layouts 8. Now let me make sure I didn't cut it the wrong size, that we can still get this is my 5x7 panel. So I'll still be able to get that out of there. All right, now let's lay out the masking magic. So there is a way to peel this apart. Here we go. So let me peel this apart. And I want to be careful. I want to try to not stretch this or, you know, lay it down in a weird way, because I need it to fit the stencil. So I'm just going to kind of hold it loosely like that, like this. And I'm going to just lay it down like that. Okay. There we go. So I have the masking magic on there. Now, I think what I'm going to do is add a couple more flowers in there. So I might, let me do this. Let's try. So if I put these here, I could put my greeting at the top where she put her greeting at the bottom. So that will work. That will still, then I could almost still use the same greeting, possibly. And instead of having 3 flowers, I'll have 5 flowers. So I'll still go with the odd numbers. So I'm going to just lay those down like right in here, like that. Okay. Now when I die cut this out with the master layouts, I'm going to get that much of the flowers, and I think that's going to be fine. All right, so let me press this masking magic down. Okay. Now just to get rid of all this excess here, I'm just going to trim this off. And I won't need that one. And I have to remember that. I have to remember that I cut a piece of that stem off when I'm stenciling, so that I don't stencil the stem on there by mistake. But I'll remember. You guys will help me remember. Okay. There we go. All right, now it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to even use the sticky mat. Maybe it does. I just think that the stencils are still going to need a little extra help. So I'll just put it up here for now, like that. And I really want to press this masking magic down. Okay. Now the next thing that I'm going to do is pick a background color. So I'm going to use a blue. I think I'm going to use almost like a blue denim or something like that. So let's see what that will look like. I think I've got navy on here from one of my most recent projects. But let me find blue denim. And hey, a big shout out to Brianne Loveland. Brianne, thank you so much for being in the comments and helping everybody find what they are looking for. We appreciate that all so very much. Brianne is our linking ninja. People will say, where do I find this? Where do I find that? And Brianne already has it linked for them. And this is Brianne Loveland's inkstand. So Brianne, if you wouldn't mind linking that too, that would be helpful. You can link to your store for that. We don't carry it in our store, but we highly recommend checking out all the different inkstand products that Brianne has. Okay.
Ready for question?
Yeah.
Okay, this comes from Brenda. Do you make your own envelopes to send your cards in? I've never seen a video explaining how you get your cards to where they are supposed to go. Fairly new person asking.
Okay, how you get your cards to where they're supposed to go. So I'm not sure what that part of the question means, Brenda, but I will tell you that I have made my own envelopes, and the back of our scoring board is an envelope maker. And I actually did a video on showing you how to use that scoreboard, but most of our envelopes, I use the ones that we sell in our store, especially for these bigger sizes. So we have 5x7 envelopes, we have A6 envelopes, we have mini slimline, and we have A2 envelopes. So you can find all the envelopes you would ever need in our store, and we have all the A2s come in lots of different colors. All right, so I'm giving this a little blend here. And I am creating kind of a darker colored cardstock for this card. And I think Georgina went from like this way, so I'm going the opposite way. I'm coming from the bottom corner and going up toward the top and blending it out to nothing. But I do want to get all these areas, and I do want to go right around the edge here so I get that white space. And then I think I'm going to go with a real light hand and just finish that off. Maybe I'll do the whole thing. Why don't we try that and see how that looks? We'll do the whole thing. See, I'm changing it up as I go. Now, I'm going to do something else. Let me see if I can find the stencil that I want. I know it's in here somewhere, so just give me a minute. Have patience with me while I find it, because this idea just popped into my head, and now I feel like I can't live unless I do it. Oh, maybe I won't do it. I'm looking for my Sea, Sun, and Sky stencil. I should have it. Let me come back over here so you can see me struggle and look for it. Just give me a second. I organized all of my stencils a couple weeks ago, and then I used all of my stencils, and then of course, did I put them back? No, I never do. All right, well, it doesn't look like we're going to be able to do that, but it was a good idea. I thought I would do some clouds in there, but when you can't find the right stencil and you don't prepare ahead of time, makes it very, very difficult to do what you want to do. Okay, well, we'll stick with this look then. Brianne's linking it anyway. That's great. I love it, Brianne. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Tom, I don't know if you can find it anywhere. Okay, so now I'm going to leave it like this, because this is going to be kind of an interesting look. And Tom, you were talking this morning about using a white shadow layer, right? Weren't you talking about that? So I think this is going to be, I think this is actually going to be good. And you know what I'm going to do instead of that cloud thing? I'm going to get some in the navy and I'm going to darken up my 1/2 and make it a little bit darker. I'll tell you, after our Simon Says Stamptember release, my craft space here looks like a nightmare. Things were flying, and I was trying to make it nice, you know, and clean for Heidi because, I mean, guys, seriously, we all know what our craft rooms look like, right? Kind of a hot mess all the time. Well, you know, I was having a guest in my craft room, and I couldn't be a hot mess. So I did the shove things in drawers method where you don't know where anything is. Okay, kind of like that. So it's darker down at this end and it gets lighter as we go up there. All right, now...
Drawer organizing?
I was drawer organizing. Yeah, exactly. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I am going to peel off this masking magic. Let's see if I can do that without smearing anything. It would be nice. Okay. All right, so I'm leaving behind some white open spaces for stenciling. I'll go up here at the top because this is going to get cut off anyway. All right, and then most of this is going to get cut off, but there we go. Okay, so now I'm going to get the coordinating stencils for this. Drum roll, please. Exactly. So now what colors should we do? Should we do purples? I know we said that, but maybe now that I have this dark blue, maybe it would be fun to do the reds because we have to have a little bit of what Georgina did. I am going to get the spruces out here. These are going to be my greens for today. And okay, so let's take a little poll. Tell me if you want purples or you want... See, this is awfully purplish already. Let's go with a different color combination. Tell me if you want bright yellows and oranges or you want me to go with bright reds. Let's see what people want. And in the meantime, I'm going to clean this stencil because I have some black ink on here and that would be a nightmare. So, okay, somebody said carnations. Carnations are kind of reds. So reds and pinks. Oh, I'm seeing a lot of reds and pinks out there. And one big not red. Yellows and oranges. Okay, so Tom, are you, oh, there's a lot of yellows. Maybe the yellow would be really nice contrast against this blue. Okay. All right, I think we're going to go with the yellows and oranges because I'm seeing a lot of yellows. And I haven't used butterscotch in a while, so I think I'm going to use butterscotch as one of the colors. Okay, so now what we're going to do here is we're going to place this stencil because I want to have the white outlines around the outside of this design. All right, I love the white outlines. All right, I'm going with yellow. If you were really set on red, I apologize. Please don't unsubscribe. Okay, so I have a wild dandelion brush here. Let's clean off any wild dandelion that's on there. 3 cheers for yellow. Okay. Now, one thing that I definitely have to do, and I'm sure a lot of you can see this accident waiting to happen, is I need to protect these ones up here that I'm not doing right away. So I'll use a couple Post-it notes just to protect that so that my wild and crazy ink blending isn't going... Yeah, I see. Sticky notes, mask off the top. You guys are on it. You guys got me. Makes me feel good that you've got my back. All right, so here we go with some butterscotch. I'm going to start kind of heavy. This actually will be nice because it is going to be very autumny looking. Okay. You know what I didn't think? I could have done yellow and red and kind of alternated the flowers, but darn it, live and learn. Somebody do that and post it in the Facebook group. I want to see that. I want somebody to do it. I think you're going to like this because it's going to have like a poster board kind of feel with those white outlines around the outside of the flower. Okay. So now we've got the first layer there. How cool this is. And now we're going to do the second layer. The first layer of these here. Let's not have an accident there. So we'll put that there. And we'll just add another Post-it note right here. So isn't this kind of fun? Using, instead of the, die cutting them out, because die cutting them out definitely has a different look. You see the edge of the paper. It's not flat. It's just, it's different. It's beautiful, but it's different. And that's why I think this is kind of fun to see how this is going to look. Don't mind that. That's going to get cut off. I actually blended a little bit of the blue that was sticking out there into that petal. So I probably should have taken this off, cleaned the sticky mat, and then continued, but that's not going to be a problem because remember, we're going to die cut this, so we're going to cut that off. That'll just get cut off. Okay, so let's get these off. How do you keep your mini brushes from being shot out of your brush holder? I don't know. My mini brushes don't shoot out. They kind of stay in there pretty well. I'm not sure. Maybe it is because it's brand new and it needs to be like stretched a little bit, but I haven't had that problem, so I'm not sure how to answer that. Maybe they're not down deep enough. Maybe you got to really stick them down there. All right, so I'm going to clean this so we can get it out of the way, and then we're going to go to layer 2. And layer 2, we're going to use some Tangerine Twist. All right, so let's lay this on here. There we go. And once again, we definitely have to use Post-it notes to protect our work.
Is that corner flower getting cut off?
Which corner?
Well, it's at the upper left now.
Oh, because I didn't do that? Yeah, you're right. I'll go back. Thank you for noticing that. I don't think it's going to get cut off, but I'll check it. If it's going to get cut off, I'm not going to worry about it. But if it's not going to get cut off, we're going to need to do it. All right, so we've got butterscotch on there. Now, we could use a little coral reef. But I think it's going to be more bright and vibrant if we use sweet mango. It's going to feel more autumny. Okay. Yeah, I'll go back and check that top one. We'll make sure that we don't forget it. Okay. So let's get that in there.
I didn't catch that. A couple hundred of your viewers caught it.
See, they always have my back, Tom. Now I'm going to do this, but I'm going to add one more layer of color in here because I want to add a little bit of something darker. And Brienne doesn't have to tell me this time because I do have my other inkstand. By the way, guys, the other night I said, Brianne, if you see me not using 2 brushes, text me and let me know. And when I got done the live, I looked at my phone because I always have it on Do Not Disturb. And Brianne texted me, use a second inkstand. So Brianne, look, I'm using another inkstand. And I'm using tomato soup this time. And I'm going to add a little bit of that down here at the bottom just to create some depth in there. Those 2 colors look so nice together. And we'll check that top one as soon as I'm done this. Okay. All right, let's get this off. Yeah, I feel like no matter what, let's just do it. Let's just do it and be safe. Better safe than sorry, right? So that was here. Like this. And we'll just add a tiny bit of the yellow in there. There we go. Whew, scary. Okay, now we're gonna get this second one on here, and I really should have just taken a paper towel and just wiped this right here to get that off. But we have it done now. Did you see that? That would have been a nightmare. I actually laid the stencil down onto the second inkstand that I didn't put in the right spot. Okay. We'll pop this right into place. Do one at a time. There we go. Okay. And then we'll tape that down and we will protect right there. All right, back to Sweet Mango. Sweet Mango here. And a little bit right in there. And then we'll get our tomato soup and we'll add that. I'm just holding everything in place here because I actually didn't have the other side taped down. All right. I'm excited to see what this all looks like finished because I feel like this is going to be pretty cool. Because it would just be impossible to do that without the masking, right? All right, now we're going to move to layer 3. So we'll put these away, tomato soup and sweet mango, and now we're going to do our greens. So I'm going to start with this light green, which is light spruce. And let me find a spruce brush. Do I have a spruce brush? I do. Here's a spruce brush. But I don't know that it just has light spruce on it, so let's check it. Oh, that'll be fine. All right. Let me look at the first one again. So that's the way the first one went, so this one has to go this way. There we go. We'll fill in those leaves. I'm not too worried about up here. I don't feel like I have to mask off as much because there's really nothing going on here. But you know what I am going to mask off? Let me show you what I am going to mask off. First, I'm going to straighten this out because it shifted a little bit. I want to have even white spacing around these leaves. So that looks pretty even. But you see right here, I'm going to pick up the blue that's on that mat. So I'm just going to cover that right there like that. All right, here we go with the light spruce. And then we're going to add the the medium spruce. And if you want, you can add extra. You can add dark spruce too, the same way that we added that tomato soup, if you want a little bit more depth and dimension. I might do a little bit of dark spruce here. So here I have dark spruce. And I might add just a little bit of the dark. That has jelly bean on it. You know, I don't know about you guys, but I tend to mix the greens when I shouldn't. I'm just going to add a little bit of this dark spruce down here at the bottom of each of these. Just like that. Create a little bit of extra depth down near the bottom. All right. Now we've got to do the other side. And I want to be careful, so I am going to just take a dry paper towel and wipe the dark spruce off of there so I don't get, you know, I get my full light spruce look on these particular ones up here. So there's not much going on up here, just this right here. Almost did the dark.
Question from Shirley. Do you ever tap off the ink on your brush for a lighter color?
I do, and you can definitely do that. You can like just rub away quite a bit of the ink to get a lighter shade and then re-ink the brush to get your heavier shade. So if you're missing a color, like let's say you have an obscure color in your collection that doesn't really have a lighter version of it, you can definitely do that. That's a great question. Alrighty, now I'm going to move to the final layer of this stencil. Maybe I have it upside down. So whenever I can't figure out like what I'm supposed to be doing, I'll find the first stencil and I'll figure out where I already inked. And then that tells me the position to turn the next stencil. And then it's very easy to line up. See that? All right, so we gotta line up all those greens on those leaves. That's looking pretty lined up here. It's good. And it's good, just take your time. It's not a race, right? You don't feel like you have to really kill it in order to, you know, it doesn't have to be super fast. Okay, so now we're going to go with medium spruce. I'm going to use that same big brush. And that's going to give me that other green color. It's not quite as dark as the dark spruce. But it gives me a second shading on those leaves. Okay, I like this. That's pretty. Now, if you want, you could go back and you could add a little bit of the dark spruce if you wanted. maybe just a little bit kind of coming right out from under that flower, like to create a little bit of a shading in there. Oops, that was medium. I'm wondering like why it's not looking dark. There we go. That's looking darker. Can you see the difference? It's just a little touch of extra color, but just darkens it up under there, so it looks a little bit like the flower is casting a shadow under there. Oh, these are pretty. So I'm wiping that down, and then we'll fill in the rest of this over here. I'm just lining up those two leaves. And then everything else looks pretty good. And I'm not worried. So I'm going to go medium with this part. Let's shift this just a hair. No, I like where it is on the leaves though. I think I pretty much sucked up all the blue from that area. And now we're going to go with the dark just right under there.
Think this might be a good time for the word of the day?
Yes, I do. I think it would be a great time for the word of the day.
Mix it up here?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I think I have the perfect test for the ultimate test for AI.
Well, come on in first.
You use AI, right? Once
I
in a
do.
while? Yeah.
I like AI. Yeah.
You like
I mean,
AI.
I like AI for certain things, and I'll explain that if you want to understand that more.
AI, yes. Well, I think I've come up
I don't use it for art though.
perfect a test to push the limit on AI, and that's where our word of the day begins.
Okay.
Have you ever tried to? Yeah, you use face recognition, right?
Yes.
Have you ever tried to get face recognition to work at 4:30 in the morning? It will push back. It's like, and it'll start arguing with, like, that's not a face. This is not, I need blob recognition or Picasso face recognition. It just keeps, it's like there's not enough matrix level computing power in the world to pull that off. So that brings us to our word of the day, or the phrase of the day, which is AI ain't happening. That's an example of AI ain't happening. Sorry about that. Right back to the dead space.
Oh my gosh. That's pretty funny, Tom. All right. Okay, so now we've got that little bit of white space showing there, and I'm going to clean my mat. And see, I just have my tidy towel, my damp tidy towel, and I'm just wiping down, only water on here. Your grippy mat or your sticky mat is going to stain. It's a stained mat is a loved mat. I mean, that's the truth. So it's still sticky though, so just keep that acetate sheet on there to protect it. I think that's a big hit, that word of the day, Tom. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm putting these back. I was waiting for them to jump out, but they didn't. They didn't jump out. Okay, and I also want to just clean my space because I actually do have a lot of ink here. Oh my gosh. Welcome everybody. I see a lot more of you came in to join us tonight, and we are so glad to have you here. Tom just did his phrase of the day, as you could probably see from the chat. And if Heidi was here, she'd say, throw some clapping emojis in there for Tom. She's so funny. She loves seeing emojis. All right. So now I'm going to cut this out with Master Layouts 8 because we're going to make this a 5x7 card. And I'm just going to make sure I cut that little goof off over there. So let's do that. How do you like that framing? I like that because we have a full big flower in here. We cut off the goop, and we have like a lot more flowers. We don't have this dead space down here. We have enough dead space around here, I think. This will be good. We don't need any more dead space. Right, Tom?
Too much dead space.
Too much dead space. Okay. Yeah, you're getting claps, Tom. There you go. Okay. Let's cut this out using Master Layouts 8. I'm using the stitch die from Master Layouts 8. It's funny, my phone doesn't recognize me at all. I have to, in order to give myself insulin, my app requires face recognition. And I must have set it up when I was wearing glasses. And I don't wear glasses a lot of the times because I have contact lenses, unless I'm trying to read or see closely.
In the middle of the day, mine will work without glasses, but
Really?
4:30 in the morning, it's like, no.
It's like, who is this guy?
You got to give me more.
All right. So there we go. Now I've got my design laid out. All right, let's take another look at Georgina's card. All right, so we're going to throw Georgina's card up there, Tom. Could you throw that banner up? Okay. All right, so that's so pretty. Georgina's card has the white space around the flowers with the ink blending. She did a partial blend. I did a blend, and mine's more like a fade. And then she used reds and bright greens. I'm using yellows, oranges, and spruce greens. And then I'm going to, I might use the same greeting that she used. I do like the greeting that she used for that thankful for you. And I think a thank you card is always great. And thankful for you is also a really good, like, even if you're thinking of a friend and they didn't actually do anything, they like, it's not like a thank you for a dinner or anything, but you're just thankful for having them in your life. So thankful for you is a good one. I'll use the same greeting as her since my card's pretty changed up. Now, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to step outside of my comfort zone, and I'm going to do a white layer instead of a black layer. So this was Tom's idea. This morning, we were sitting at the table, and he said, hey, have you ever thought... He did. It was this morning, right? Wasn't it this morning that you said this? Have you ever thought of doing...
That's what I thought. That's as far as I got. Have you ever thought? And then.
And I said no, and it was done.
No, I'm kidding.
No, you said, have you ever thought about doing a white layer around the perimeter of your card instead of a black layer? And I said, I have done that, but usually the whole card itself has to be a different color. Well, this is a great opportunity to do that because the whole rest of the card, you can't really see it with the die cutting machine, but can you see it here? The whole rest of the card is blue, and so you'd be able to see that white shadow layer instead of the black shadow layer. And this is really nice because of the white outlines in the flowers too. So it gives you kind of some continuity there for color. So I like that. Let me get this out of the way. And let me put my glasses back on so I can see
what base color are you doing?
Well, that's a really good question. So I'm thinking we're going to do maybe one of the colors from this cardstock. Or from the card itself.
Because I was thinking of reversing the black, and what you usually do is black and white.
Yeah.
But if you did it, but it might work better with black, with a like a night moon scene or something.
Yeah, or even if there was a lot more black in this card, like some black stamping. There will be a black greeting, but maybe there'll be a black greeting. Maybe I should do an in the navy greeting and just really throw everybody off. This card will get posted and nobody will know whose it was. Sometimes I like to do a color that's not even part of anything, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like a color that, boy, that did not go on right at all. And then I got orange on that layer there. I think I actually just sent this through the machine too tight, but I might cut a different one. You know, I had it set so tight because I'm used to cutting heavyweight cardstock. I think I'll cut one more and not cut it quite so tight. I don't think I needed it that tight. So that is the nice thing about the Intracut, is you can dial down the pressure going through. And I think I'm going to do that. Because if you know, when you're doing a big frame like this, and these frames are huge, if you have it set way too tight, you actually can, you know, stretch the die a little bit, and then it might not be perfectly clean cut. Okay.
Polly's asking, what tape runner are you using? I always fight with mine.
I'm using the Gina K Designs tape runner. That is, and that we've been out of for a while, but we just got our shipment, so we're going to have a big restock either tomorrow or the next day. There's a lot of product to count there. And I know I'm doing this off camera, so just give me a minute here. I just need to...
The suggestions for the card base color are pouring in.
Yeah? What seems to be the favorite?
We have butterscotch.
Mm-hmm.
And honey mustard, and in the navy.
Butterscotch might be nice. In the navy might be nice. Ooh. You know, I kind of like that in the navy suggestion, especially because I just thought about maybe doing the greeting in the navy. So let's see what that looks like. Okay. Let's just see what that looks like. In the navy. Here's in the navy. Tom, this is very similar to your black cardstock idea. Oh, look how striking that is in navy. That is beautiful. It almost looks black. We will look at blue denim because it's going to be a little bit lighter. Let's look at blue denim and see what you guys think. So there's blue denim. I think that's too samey. Do you know what I mean? It's like, it looks like the same color as the background, where the blue denim is so, in the navy is so striking. Yeah, all right, let's go with the navy. And if you're not sure, like, here's the difference between navy and black. Can you see that? Like, the black is super black. Okay, we'll do in the navy, and then maybe we'll stamp our greeting in the navy too. So this is a 5x7 card, which means I have to cut it down to 10x7.
Did you say samesies?
Samesy, yeah. Do you know what I mean by that?
I think I do.
Yeah, it's too samey.
Just never heard you use that before.
Well, I'm stretching out. I'm trying new things. Trying to be competitive.
Case of the samesies.
Case of the samesies. So I'm going to score this at the 5-inch mark. Samesy, just, yeah. If you don't know what that means out there, it's just, you know, it's all too blue denim-y. And the navy is just gives it that pop behind there. It makes the white look really pretty too. I like this layout, this card idea here. All right. Yeah, check out our tape runner, and we have all our refills coming back in stock too. I know people have been waiting a while for it. Okay. There we go.
I wonder if the viewers...
white border pops too. I like
Yeah.
that. This is kind of your idea, Tom, except you had said black, but
I was just going to say, I wonder if the viewers can imagine how many suggestions I make that go right into the stratosphere, never to be seen again.
should we take a poll? What the percentage of Tom's ideas that get met with, nah, I don't like that. All right, so now...
What do we call those? Shrug-gestions?
Shrug-gestion. Yes, that was a word of the day, right? All right, now here's my question. Should we do that thankful for you? I mean, I feel like it's still so pretty. It's delicate. Or is it too small for this card? And should I use something a little bigger, like this? Grateful for you. I don't know. I want to be inspired by Georgina's card, so I need a little bit more of Georgina in this. So I'm going to go for the thankful for you. It is a little bit small, but I think we're going to make it work. All right. Let's go with in the navy. I don't know what to think without having any black on this card. But I kind of like it. Not gonna lie, I kind of like it. I still feel like it has a little bit of Gina K in it, but it definitely has a lot of Georgina in it. Is Georgina here? Has anybody seen her in the chat? I tried to tag her in the Facebook group to let her know, but I couldn't. It wouldn't let me tag her. Sometimes Facebook posts, I can't tag people, like the winners of our challenges every month. It doesn't always let me tag people, and I think some people might have their settings set, so, you know. But then sometimes other people will go in and tag the person for me, and it works for them. So I'm not sure. Facebook is interesting. Okay, so thankful for you. Got the coordinating die for this. And this little greeting set, I'm just going to work off the side here just to line this up and get some masking magic on there. This little greeting set is a free incentive set. So if you buy $75 worth of products in our store, you get a little pop-up and it lets you choose a stamp set, or you can choose the white cardstock. And this was this month's, from this release, one of the free incentives that you could have chosen. Okay. So, oh, that is a pretty little delicate greeting. I think even though it's a big card, it's okay to have a delicate greeting on there. I think it's okay. And we're going to kind of accent that greeting with a bunch of little gems in here. So I think it's okay. Alrighty. Let's give it a go, shall we? We'll get the greeting on there. We could pop it up. We could also not pop it up, and we could use flat sequins, and this could be a super easy card to mail because there isn't any bulk to it at all. But I do kind of like to pop up greetings. That is kind of a thing for me. So having that popped up just a little bit might give it just the pizzazz that it needs. Well, I always like, somebody just said, Donna said, don't cover up the flower, please. I always like to cover part of the flower. I don't like a greeting just hanging in space like that. It doesn't feel good to me. I like it to be nested in with the flowers. And that's just that's a personal choice for me, but it really to me, that is a little bit more eye appealing. Now, if I'm stamping it, I would probably stamp it in an open space. But when I pop it up, having that lift, I do really like it to be over. I like overlap. Overlap is interesting to me. So that's just a me thing. But I would love to see, because I love Georgina's card, and I don't think she overlapped her greeting because she stamped it right on the card. But I don't like it up higher. I like it down, overlapped onto the flower. So
Diane wants to know, do you have to put a white panel on the inside because it's a dark base?
Yeah, I would definitely put a white panel on the inside because it would be easier to write on it. Unless you're writing with like a gold or silver or white gel pen. Then I would say, you know, you don't have to do that. But I would just cut another Master Layouts 8 panel in here and put that in there. You know, just a nice big piece of white cardstock on the inside. And then you could write on the white. And you know, I actually, when I sign cards, I have a lot of plain panels cut, and I actually write everything on the panel first, and then I stick it into the card, because if I mess up, it's not already glued into the card. So I kind of like having that extra panel, and it decorates your card inside just a little bit as well. Okay, so what do you guys think of white pearls, since we've got a little bit of white here? Should we just see what a few little white pearls look like on this? I think that might be very pretty. We'll see. Got to spill them out. A little bit of elegant pearlage. Yeah, I mean, everybody has their own thing, so I don't, you know, I see cards all the time where the greetings are just hanging, and the cards are beautiful. It's just when I make a card, I prefer not having that. All right, so that's 5 pearls on there. So I think I'm going to go with that. And again, you guys might like more pearls. You might like them positioned differently. This is just my preference. Others will vary. I always feel bad, though, like if I don't use somebody's idea.
Or you could even use Scutterbotch on the inside.
That's true, you could. You could use Butterscotch. You could use a soft gray in there. You could use a lighter shade of blue. Scutterbotch. Okay, so let me just clean up my gluey mess here that I have going around this one.
Have you ever done a card where you didn't feel like it needed a sentiment on the front?
You know, I see some absolutely beautiful watercolored cards that like Cassie Hewlett makes, and it's just Karen Hightower. I mean, some of the watercolor artists that we have are Gina. Like, they don't even need greetings. They're like pieces of artwork that you want to frame. Don't you think?
Those zinnias you did last.
Oh, my zinnia card? It's still here. Here's the zinnias. Yeah. See, I overlapped the greeting a little bit. But, yeah, this could have been like just a little piece of art, too. Okay. That's still up there. All right. So what do you think of this? Do you like this idea of masking off? I mean, it's completely flat. It has like a poster board feel to it.
Very nice. Very nice.
Yeah, see? So I was inspired by Georgina's beautiful card here. She used the Thankful for You greeting. I copied that. She used ink blending in the background. I copied that. She die cut her flowers, which gave them a white border around the perimeter. So I copied the idea of the white border around the perimeter, but I did mine using Masking Magic paper and masked those spots open, and then I was able to ink blend my entire card. I did a little bit of a fade like she did, except she kept a lot of white space, which is beautiful. I did mine a little darker down here, a little lighter up here, and then I used the same greeting. I added pearls where she added our water droplet embellishments. Yeah, it's so fun. Yeah, so you can see how you can look at a card and be inspired by certain aspects of the card and say, oh, I want to make that, but I'm going to make it my own by switching up a few key elements. Now, if you looked at my card and you looked at Georgina's card, they would have some similarities, but it wouldn't look like I stole her whole idea, even though I was, using her share as inspiration and using quite a bit of what she did there. So, all right, so this is my card using the Autumn Delight layering stencil bundle and our Harvest of Happiness incentive stamp set. Some pearls, our white pearls for embellishments, and then the colors I used were Butterscotch, Sweet Mango, Light Medium, and Dark Spruce, and then I used Blue Denim and In the Navy for my ink colors on the background and In the Navy for my greeting. Look at that, guys. I made a card with no black. This may be this may be a day to mark down in history. All right, Tom, we need to give away a gift card. But before we do that, we would like to ask you guys if you liked tonight's video, and we sure hope that you have. Please give this video a thumbs up. That really helps our channel be seen by other people who like card making and maybe don't know about us. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss another video. And then we would love to have you in our Facebook group. It's a great place to find all kinds of Gina K Designs inspiration. It's called Gina K Designs and Stamp TV Friends. I'll be taking a high quality photo of this card. I'll be posting it there in the group and also here on my YouTube channel on the post tab. And then a big shout out again to Brianne Loveland. Thank you, Brianne, for all your help linking everything. Appreciate you so much. But if you missed any of the links and you're looking for some of the products that we used, you can always find what I used on our website at ginakdesigns.com. All right. So now we're going to give away a $15 gift card to one of our chatters in the chat. One of our chatter boxes in the chat. Is that what Mary Gunn says? She calls it the chatter box. Let's give away a gift card, Tom.
Drum roll! And the winner is Connie Diller. Connie Diller!
Yay, Connie! Congratulations, Connie. You are our winner. You win a $15 Gina K Designs gift card. All you have to do is send your name and email address to info@ginakdesigns.com, and we will get that emailed right over to you. All right, everybody. Well, this was so much fun tonight. A big shout out to Georgina for her beautiful card and for inspiring me and 49,000 other Gina K Designs friends over in our Facebook group. And hopefully you're inspired tonight to try something with this idea as well. Tom and I will not be back on Thursday, so if you joined us late, we are going to take Thursday off to take care of our grand puppy, but I will be working on all the graphics for our new release, which is next Tuesday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. We will be back with our illustrators, new stamps and dies, a brand new card kit, and lots of fun holiday surprises, so we can't wait for that. And that is next Tuesday night. In the meantime, everybody, thank you all so much for joining me. Take care. Stay safe and healthy. We love you all so very much. And we'll see you again real soon. Bye-bye.